Hey everybody, my name is Chandler Quintin. Today is April 28th, it's Monday, and here is my trade video of the day. Now my last trade video was talking about Apple, and this was on the huge run-up day when we were overbought in multiple time frames. Now I anticipated there would be some sort of gap fill from the earnings to the day after earnings and trying to fill in this gap over here, but you know what? It didn't happen. And, you know, as much as I'd like to stick to my system when there's a freight train running through, there's only so much you can do. And honestly, getting out of the way, which was, Friday's play, was probably the best move to do because we, as you can tell, we've jumped up to almost 600. Now, I have the daily chart here pulled up on Apple, the 180-day. RSI is at 77, which is really high compared to where it goes versus when it comes down, especially being this high over the Bollinger Bands. I'd say that any day now there's going to be a heavy down day. Now, honestly, I've been wrong the past couple of trading days on Apple, so I'm going to stay out of it because who knows, maybe there's another update to bring it past 600. Maybe we see 610, 615, but honestly, before the split, there's got to be some sort of correction because this is just getting a little out of control. And I'm not saying that because I'm frustrated. I'm saying that because just technically, that's just how things go. So I'll pull up a 2-year chart. Anytime we see RSI close to the 80 range, we have dips down. Over here, looks like August 2012, we actually go a little bit higher after that RSI, and that was the all-time high. So we're seeing kind of a similar pattern over here with this high RSI, and maybe we do go a little bit higher afterwards. Who knows? But based on my past studies, the hourly RSI, we're still way above the 70. We closed today at 79. The 15-minute again is dipping down a little bit, but it's not giving out too much. The 5-minute is still really high above 70. And, there's really no telling about what's going to happen with Apple. So that said, we're going to stay out of Apple until we see some sort of commitment to either higher movement or lower movement. We're going to look for lower on Apple because we are so overbought. If it were to go any higher, I think we'd just be shooting in the dark, to be honest with you, because we are overbought. That's the name of the game. And, what you really should have done is been getting in down here when the hourly RSI was at 29 and held. If you were brave enough to hold through earnings, you would have been rewarded handsomely. So let's move on from Apple and let's go to what looks like to be the next good trade setup. This is Tesla. Tesla recently just had a nice short here when RSI was above 70 on April 22nd. We're cruising down. You would have exited your short down here today. I do think we're going to get a little bit more lower movement before our next long move. You see a pattern of RSI dipping down to the 30 range, heading up a little bit higher, and then going back down again until we get down to sub 30 range. I'm waiting for RSI on the 60-minute to go to around 30 to 25 for my entry. And I imagine we might see a little bit up tomorrow, but I do think we might trim down. Earnings are coming up too, so it might be a little shaky, so we're going to keep our eyes on that. So remember, you're going to try to make trades when RSI is, you're going to go short when RSI is overbought, and that's above 70, and you're going to go long when RSI is below 30. Now, if you played the short term today when that actually happened, you would have had a really nice trade. Let me put Tesla in, and we'll do 1 week out, and I'll throw in the 5-minute chart today. You would have gotten here in the afternoon around 1:30, and then you would have exited at the end of the day when the 5-minute RSI was getting close to overbought territory. So at this point of the day, the low was 190, so you probably would have bought a 200 call. I got a week out, and we would have gotten in at the low at 916 and out at the high of 13. So let's see here. That would have been a 41% trade in the day. So if you invested $10,000, you would have walked away with $4,100 up. So again, we would have gotten in that trade because We had RSI of the hour close to the 30 range. If you look more towards the 5 minute, it was a little bit more clear. We dipped down to the 30 range and we bounced around a little bit. So it looked like an up move was imminent. And if we were at the 1 minute, this is where we were looking at right here before that up move, and we had an RSI of 28, which was pretty low. And again, in the beginning of the day, you had a nice opportunity as well. And I actually played this one. I went long right here when RSI was at 20, which would have been this movement right here from here to here. But if you waited to the end of the day, you would have got a little bit of a better move from here to up here. So keep your eye on RSI. Tesla is going to be an interesting one for the next week or so because of earnings. So, I'd say anytime you get a really strong move to the downside, I would give it a shot and maybe go long. I would have loved to get in short to have gone short up here, but that was honestly too hard to tell with the crazy up and down movement. Even on the 15-minute chart for the day, there's really no commitment either way. So it was kind of shooting in the dark. I'd rather take this trade and up here all day long than this one to this one. So keep your eyes peeled for Tesla. I think that's going to be what I'm going to be going after the next week or so. Thanks a lot.